So there's a lot of so there's a lot of beats that I like to cover, and apparently I cover the depress you beat. Like I have the news that will depress you. That's why I try to bring stories about labor and when the kids are with the shit. I try to bring rays of sunshine, but y'all, we are facing some very dire consequences on this planet, right? Even if white supremacy and colonialism and capitalism, even if they were to stop right now, we would still be in for a long, bumpy road as it relates to climate change and climate catastrophe. And the story that came out today is actually in the mainstream news, and you probably saw it. And I saw this story and I said, oh, fuck. I said, oh, fuck. So the state of Alaska, and for all y'all who love to eat the snow crab legs, what is that kink that is on social media where people will sit around and eating crab legs and other people just sit and watch them? I find that to be so weird. I can't stand to watch other people eat. I damn sure I'm not going to tune in to someone's channel just to watch them eat. But for some reason, these people love to focus on crab legs. And not even like Maryland blue crab legs, like them Alaskan snow crab legs, them Alaskan king crab legs. Well, I guess the upside is we're not going to get much more of that kind of content because the state of Alaska, for the first time in its history, has canceled the snow crab and king crab crabbing season. Okay. That sounds like a big deal. Sounds like a huge deal. And I want us to get the story. This is actually a package out of Seattle from KING5, King 5 News. And we picked it up kind of in the middle because they started off the package by interviewing a fisher person. And the person was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Our business is going to collapse. And it's like, honey, the fishery is fucking collapsing. What the fuck do you mean? What are we going to do? Bitch, if it ain't no fucking crabs, you don't have no goddamn business. So anyway, let's pick up the story out of Alaska regarding this historic cancellation of the crabbing season in that state. Let's take a look.
Alaska Department of Fish and Game announced Monday that for the first time in U.S. history, the Bering's crab season is canceled. For the second consecutive year, Bristol Bay red king crab is also closed, citing in a statement long-term conservation and sustainability of crab stocks.
There is a small bear die season, a little over 2 million pounds, and we have to make that decision of whether it makes sense or not for our boats.
The Dwyers are part of the 2 to 3 vessels equipped to catch that crab of the 60 vessel fleet within Alaska Bering Sea crabbers.
We understand when the state shuts us down for conservation and to take pressure off the stock, but what we're not seeing is the state also taking actions on other sectors that have fishing impacts and affect our stock as bycatch.
This news trickling down to coastal communities, processors, and local markets.
Once the holidays start, there won't be any more king crab.
And making fishermen families wonder.
As fishermen, we are stewards of the resource and of our oceans, and we do care tremendously.
Will they be able to pass on their legacy to the new generation?
At the end of the day, we're fishermen.
The executive director for the Alaska Bering Sea crabbers tells me the crab supply will definitely come back, but the fishermen who lose their businesses during this year will likely not come back and lose everything. Because of that, they are asking for emergency relief like that of farmers during a crop failure.
Interesting. And I have to say, I don't know that woman, the fisher lady. I don't know her. I don't know nothing about her, but I don't believe her. I don't believe you. I don't believe you when you say that you're a good steward over this crab population. Like, because capitalism makes it such that they are just allowed, anyone that is exploiting or, using the natural resources as their livelihood. I mean, they will listen, them people will take out as many crabs as that boat can fucking carry, right? And let me read y'all this real quick. Well, I didn't put this up on the doc, but this is a piece from let me read you an excerpt from this piece from Yahoo News. that talks about the mysterious disappearance of 1 billion crabs over the past 2 years. State officials told CBS News that about 1 billion crabs have disappeared from the frigid northern waters of the Bering Sea over the past 2 years. It's a sudden, drastic, and somewhat mysterious drop in the population. But one thing that might also be related to might be related to this is climate change. Okay. And it's one person even speculates, did the crabs run up north to get that colder water? And that's all. I mean, all of these things are things to consider, whether or not the fishery itself is collapsing. By the way, not just in Alaska, although Alaska is the first state, I believe, to take this drastic measure to cancel the crabbing season outright. Here in Maryland and in Virginia, the Maryland blue crabs have this past year had the worst year since they have been monitoring crab populations. And they use, there's a number of reasons why, but ultimately human caused activity is what's and overfishing is what's causing these massive population declines in our seafood. And I've been covering this for a while. I have a story somewhere on my SoundCloud. I do have a SoundCloud. Maybe that is on my SoundCloud. Anyway, about 10 years ago, I can remember doing a story interviewing a scientist who was telling me about the practice of trawling. Am I saying that right? Trawling, where fish that appear on the menus of many restaurants in America, I'm specifically referencing Chilean sea bass. The methods that they use to catch these fish, it's not just nets, even though nets are extremely toxic to marine life, to whales, to dolphins, to other sea mammals, sharks, etc. I mean, I know sharks are not sea mammals, but sharks and shit. These animals get caught in these nets and they drown. But the way that they get Chilean sea bass, the boats like literally scrape the bottom of the sea floor, and basically it's like a bulldozer just going across the sea floor. Just it's a extremely destructive method of fishing that obviously has to cause way more damage than whatever fish it may yield. And it's capitalism, y'all. Capitalism is determined to fuck everything. It is determined to extract everything. As long as there is a market for people to buy, capitalism will serve it up. It doesn't matter if the product is extinct or endangered or any of that. If there's a market for it, capitalism will say, fuck them fish, fuck them crabs, fuck that marine life. We're going to make this dollar.